Hi everybody, I'm Antonietta, and today's practice is a 40-minute yoga flow where we focus on the power of surrender. So grab yourself a towel, gather your strength, and meet me on the mat. Standing at the front of the mat, place your hands on the ends of your towel and raise it up all the way over the head and slightly back as far as you can go. Then back to center and up again. And then bring it back to center. This time we're going to raise it up overhead and then lean towards the right. Inhale, back to center, and then exhale over to the left. Inhale back to center and then lower the arms back down. Take an inhale and an exhale. And on your next inhale, raise and squeeze your shoulders up towards your ears. Keep squeezing, squeeze, squeeze, and then exhale, drop them down. One more time. Inhale, lift the shoulders all the way up to the ears. And then exhale, drop them all the way down and make your way all the way down to standing forward fold. Let's gently place your towel in front of the mat. Surrender. Hang loose here for a few breaths. Bend your knees if you need to. You can clasp the opposite elbow on each arm if that feels good to you. Let the head grow heavy and loose. Shake the head a little yes or a little no. Take one last breath here and then plant the palms. Step one foot back and then the other, coming into downward facing dog. Pedal it out and really reach the hips up high. Bend at the knees to lift the hips a little higher and try to ground down into the heels. Or you can keep the heels lifted if that feels right in your body. On your next breath, gently drop the knees down, coming into tabletop. Keep your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. Slowly bring your right knee forward, close to your right hand, and straighten your left leg, allowing it to rest on the mat. Shift your weight onto your right thigh, forehead comes down to the mat. Pigeon pose. Allow your arms to extend in front of you while you sink deeper into the asana. Lots of emotions are stored in the hips. Pigeon pose is meant to stretch your hip rotators, allowing those built-up emotions to be released while giving you the chance to confront them and finally set them free. When you're ready, make your way back to tabletop and let's repeat on the other side. This time bring your left knee forward close to your left hand, straighten your right leg, allowing it to rest on the mat. Shift your weight onto the left thigh and forehead comes down to the mat. Allowing your arms to extend in front of you as you exhale and sink deeper into the stretch. You can rock a little side to side. Let go of each negative emotion as it surfaces and embrace the feeling of release. Gently guide your way back to tabletop. We're going to come into a little cat-cow here. You're going to inhale and drop your belly open, the chest cow, and then exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest, cat. Continue to flow in and out of cat and cow on your own, using your breath to guide you in and out of the pose. Keep your movement slow here. And don't worry so much on the way this looks, but focus more on the feeling. Let's keep this going for 5 more breaths. Take 1 more breath for each side. Beautiful. Come back to a neutral spine. And push off the mat with your left hand and extend your right arm towards the ceiling. Thread the needle by slowly moving your right arm under your left chest towards the mat. Ground through both knees, left arm for support. Right shoulder and head rest on the mat. Glance at me if you need to. Option to extend your left arm overhead, coming up on the fingertips. Hold here and focus on your breathing. See if you can hear what thoughts are coming up here. Are you wanting to come out of the pose? See if you can hang on for a little longer and just practice surrendering into the resistance. Let's reset and bring your left hand under your left shoulder. Press firmly into your left palm to slowly unthread your right arm and reach back up towards the sky. The gaze can follow, and return your right hand back down to the mat to tabletop. Other side, lift your left hand up, sending your gaze up with it, and then follow your left hand down as you thread it beneath your right arm. Sink into the stretch by keeping your hips high while allowing your chest to rest or come close to the mat. Option to extend your right arm and come up on your fingertips. Push your hips back and up and keep some pressure in your right fingertips to avoid crunching your neck and to control the deepness of the stretch. Deep quality breaths here. Try to be right here, right now, focusing on all that is going on in your body right now. Feel the tight areas getting loose and maybe unraveling, creating some space. Slide your right palm back and firmly press into your right palm to slowly unthread your left arm and reach it back up towards the sky. Then return your left hand down to the mat, back to tabletop. Walk your hands forward and your knees back, coming into puppy pose. Slide your forearms down and release the forehead to the mat. Spread your fingertips nice and wide and press firmly into the palms. Elbows lift, hips lift high towards the ceiling. Keep pressing your chest towards the mat. Try to focus on the feeling and not so much the shape. For a deeper stretch, you can try lifting the wrists by coming onto your fingertips. Also, you can come on the chin. Two more breaths here. If you're on your fingertips, lower and release to the palms and slowly come onto the forearms. Shift the hips forward and gradually lower down to the mat, coming into Sphinx pose. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. Lift your chest, open your heart, pressing into the palms and the tops of the feet. Let's take one more breath together and come into locust pose. Slide the hands back, palms facing up or down for support. Forehead rests gently on the mat. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, and on an inhale, pubic bone presses into the mat. Tuck the chin and chest, lift the arms and reach the fingertips back. And on the exhale, lift the legs. Inner thighs stay engaged, hugging them towards center. Keep length in the neck and take a few breaths here. Then lower it all down. Gently rock the hips a little left to right. And let's try it again. This time we're going to lift the front and the back body at the same time. Here we go. Press into the pelvis and into the tops of the feet. Big inhale, big exhale, and lift. Fingertips are reaching back, thighs are hugging towards the midline. Reach back a little further. You got this. Come on, just a little longer. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Breathe and release. Turn your head to rest on any air. Breathe. And then turn to rest on the opposite air. Coming into bow pose. Exhale, lift your head, chest, and push off the toes. Bend the knees towards the head. Lift and reach your hands back to take hold of your ankles. Point your toes. Inhale and lift your head, chest, and thighs away from the mat, leaving only your core to be touching the mat. Look straight ahead and breathe. And release. Bring your palms under the shoulders and make your way up to all fours. Walk the knees in towards center. Sit back on the heels, belly rests on thighs. Slide your fingertips towards your heels and melt your heart down into Balasana. 3 to 5 breaths here, breathing deep. Rock a little side to side if that feels good to you. Surrender. The power of surrender. Surrender is sometimes viewed as a weakness, though it takes tremendous strength to trust or surrender to the unknown. It's actually one of the most powerful and bravest things we can do. Let's see if we can harness up some of that strength and courage to trust in this practice. Listen to the sound of your breath. Lovely. Tuck the chin to the chest and slowly roll up, coming onto all fours. From here, curl the toes under and make our way up to downward facing dog. Claw at the fingertips to release pressure off the wrist. Bend your knees one at a time or pedal your heels towards the ground. One more round. And exhale, ground down through the left foot or heel. Inhale, lift the right leg up high. Exhale, bend your right knee, squeeze it into the chest and step it forward. Make sure the front knee is over the front ankle. Pivot on the left foot and rise up strong, brave and beautiful warrior one. Reach the fingertips up high, pull your hip crease back, hips and torso are facing forward. Right foot is strong, left foot turning in and anchored down. Lift your chest and inhale in. let's ring it out, coming into a revolved warrior. Bring the hands to prayer at the heart center, pivot on the back foot as you twist the torso towards the sky. Heart is open. Left elbow comes to the outer side of the right knee. Gaze is up. Place pressure on the palms, or you can make a fist with one hand to get a deeper twist. Option to extend the left arm to the ground while the right arm reaches to the sky. One more breath. Then pivot and ground down on your back foot, reach your arms back up, and then rain it down. Plant the palms, coming into runner's lunge, then take your right hand over to meet with the left and walk it all the way around as you pivot on both feet and straighten the right knee and make your way to a standing, wide-legged forward bend, also known as standing straddle. Slight micro bend in the knees, toes are slightly turned in. We're breathing deep here. Coming onto the fingertips, or if the hands don't make it to the ground, option to use blocks, or you can bring the hands to the tops of the thighs. If the hands do make it to the ground, you can start to walk them back close to the arches or the heels. Crown of the head comes down to the ground or towards the ground. If the crown of the head does make it to the ground and headstands are in your practice, go ahead and give it a go. Be sure to always listen to your body and practice mindfully and carefully. Pause and breathe. Then moving from center, hands come to the waistline and slowly come out the way you came in. From here, we're going to make our way to triangle pose or trikonasana. I love this shape. Reach and extend the arms nice and wide, palms facing down, heart is lifted, tailbone is tucked down. Turn the right toes to face the front edge of the mat. Left toes and hips rotate towards the front left corner of your mat. Front heel is in line with the back arch. Lengthen through the spine as you shift your left hip back, reach your right fingertips forward. Bend at the hip crease and send your left hip and glute towards the back of the mat. Keeping the chest lifted, try not to collapse in the body. Think of a string pulling you up, nice and tall here. Core is engaged as you continue to lower your right fingertips to the top of your shin, a block, or all the way down to the ground. Left arm extends straight up, gaze can follow. Spiral the torso towards the sky and take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. To come out of this posture, press into the feet, engage the hamstrings and quads, and slowly make your way back up. Hands come to the waist, and let's repeat on the other side. Extend the arms, right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Palms face down and open the chest. Lift and lengthen through the spine, tailbone tucks under. Keep that lift from the tailbone to the crown as you gently reach forward with your left fingertips. Shift the right hips back as you slowly bend forward to make your way towards the ground. Torso rotates towards the sky. Take a few breaths here, being sure that your weight isn't dumping into the left side, but evenly distributed throughout the body. When you're ready, press into the feet and slowly make your way back up. Coming into Warrior One, you might need to adjust or widen your stance here. Bend the left knee, slight pivot on the back foot as your torso turns towards the back of the mat. Raise the arms up and sink into Warrior One. Pressing down into the outer edge of the back foot, hug the low ribs in, and breathe deep. Here we go, Revolved Warrior. Bring hands to prayer at the heart center, pivot on the back foot as you twist the torso towards the sky, heart is open. Right elbow locks into the outer side of the left knee, gaze is up. Place pressure on the palms, or again, you can make a fist with one hand to get a deeper twist. Option to extend the left arm to the ground while the right arm reaches to the sky. One more breath. And then pivot and ground down through the back foot. Reach your arms back up and then rain it down. Plant the palms, step the left foot back to meet with the right, plank pose. You can go straight to downward facing dog, or you can take a vinyasa. Shift forward on your toes, bend your arms and lower to the belly, chaturanga, and then push up to cobra. Moving with your breath, we'll meet in downward facing dog. And when you get there, take a deep cleansing breath in and a long cleansing breath out. Bring your feet together. Let's take a couple more breaths. Moving at your own pace, anchor through the left heel and inhale, lift the right leg up high, three-legged dog. Bend the right knee behind you, opening through the hips, and try to look back to see if you can find your toes. Pause and breathe. On your next breath, pivot on the ball of the left foot so that your toe faces the back edge of the mat. Arch the back so that the hips are parallel to the ceiling. At the same time, place your right foot on the floor on the outside of your left foot. Extend your right arm, Wild Thing pose. Breathe deep. Pivot on the ball of the left foot so that the toes face the front of the room. Drop the right arm down on the mat, returning to downward facing dog. Find stillness here. Breathing deep. Bring your toes to touch. Coming into three-legged dog, anchor through the right heel. Inhale, lift the left leg up high. This time bend the left knee behind you, opening through the hips again. Try to look back to see if you can find your toes. Pause and breathe. On your next breath, pivot on the ball of the right foot, toes facing the back edge of the mat. Back arches, hips are parallel to the ceiling. Place your left foot on the floor on the outside of your right foot. Extend your left arm. You can take a mudra here if you like. One more deep inhale. And slowly make your way back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out a little here. Step the right foot behind the right hand, then the other behind the left. Bring your feet together, arch to arch, and with a generous bend of your knees, press weight into your heels. Sink into your hips and reach your arms up towards the sky, Utkatasana, or chair pose. Option to bring the hands to heart center. Tuck your tailbone down and under. Try to lift all your toes up off the mat, and then place them back down to the earth. Take one more breath and then exhale, rag dog or forward fold. Let the arms dangle or take the hands to elbows. We'll stay here for 4 breaths. Let the head grow heavy here. You can bend the knees or pedal them out. Sway a little side to side. Let it all go. Let it go to grow. On your next inhale, come into a halfway lift. This time reach your arms back, palms face down, flat back from crown to tail. Shoulders pull back and away from the ears. Repeat after me. I let go to what is. I let go to what is. Exhale, let it all go, forward fold. On an inhale, bend your knees and sweep your arms up towards the sky, upward salute. Then lower arms by your side, palms facing forward, Tadasana. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears, zip up through the midline, and breathe. Coming into a quad stretch, shift your weight to your left foot, bend your right knee and heel towards glute. Reach back with your right hand and grab your right ankle or foot. Keep a slight bend in your left knee, thighs hugging towards center. Keep length through the back and lift the chest. From here, we'll make our way to dancer pose. Rotate your right hand from your ankle to grasp the instep of your right foot with your thumb resting on the sole. Lift your left arm straight up towards the ceiling and bring your torso forward. Option to use a strap if your hamstrings or low back feel a little tight. Keep a slight bend in the left leg, right knee hugs towards the midline. Kick your right foot strongly into your right hand, or if you're holding onto a strap, really hold onto it tightly as you lift the leg higher and deepen the back bend. Toes are active. Find your drishti to keep balance. No worries if you fall or stumble here. Make it part of the dance. It's all good. Deep breaths. Carefully lower your right leg back in line with your left, and let's repeat on the other side. Shift your weight to your right foot, bend your left knee and lift your left foot, heel towards glute. Reach back with your left hand to grab your left ankle. Slight bend in the right knee, thighs hugging towards center. Lift the chest and breathe deep into the tightness. Now let's dance on the left. You know the routine. Left hand rotates to grab the inner arch of the left foot. Thumb rests on the sole. Right arm lifts straight up towards the ceiling. Torso leans forward, slight bend in the right leg. Left knee hugs towards the midline. Kick your left foot strongly into your left hand to lift the leg higher and deepen the back bend. Toes are active. Find your gaze. Deep breaths. And lower your left leg back in line with your right. Inhale, reach for the sky, spread the fingers, press into your foundation, stretch, big stretch, and exhale, forward fold. Plant the palms, step one foot back and then the other. Plank pose. Gently lower the knees, coming to home base, tabletop position. From here, we're going to come into one of my favorites, camel pose. Option to pad the knees with a blanket or double up on your yoga mat if needed. Or else bring the hands to the back of the waist. Loop the shoulders forward, up and back. Tailbone lengthens down. You can use your thumbs along the back side of your lower back to guide you forward and back. Inner thighs are engaged and squeezing into the midline. Open the chest and press firmly into the tops of the feet. Hips shift forward. As you begin to lean back, hug the elbows together and reach down to grab your heels. Inhale, inner thighs continue to squeeze together, look up, or you might even look all the way back and breathe. To come out of the posture, bring one hand back to the waistline and then the other, and tuck the chin and slowly roll up. Knit the thighs together, sit back on the heels, and then cave into child pose. Forehead to the mat, rest the arms alongside, fingertips towards heels. Let the shoulders grow heavy here. Such a nice counter stretch. See if with each new exhale, you can let go of what is no longer serving you. And let each inhale fill you with what you need. Slowly make your way back up. Swing your legs over to either side and extend them in front of you. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, hinge at the waist, flat back, think up and over and fold. Bend your knees as much as you like here. Relax your neck and let your head grow heavy. And just breathe. Send your breath to any tight areas. And slowly and mindfully roll all the way back up, reaching arms up and then placing them down by your sides. Dandasana or staff pose. Following this, bend your knees, lean back to balance on your sits bones, and feel the lift through your low belly. Lengthen through the spine, chest is lifted. Moving from center, lift your legs up. Feet are in line with your knees. Fingertips reach forward. Straighten your legs and point your toes. Navasana, boat pose. Remember, my breath is my anchor. And let's hold it for a count of 3, 2, and 1. Lower all the way down, coming onto our backs. When you get there, draw your knees in towards your chest and allow your knees to drop over to the right side. Option to bring your head to gaze in the opposite direction of your knees. You might close your eyes and observe what thoughts are coming up. Let them come and let them go, coming back to the breath. Bring your knees back to center and over to the left side. Option to bring your arms out wide to a T if that feels good to you. You can bring your head to gaze in the opposite direction of your knees and melt into the twist. Close your eyes and imagine what it would look like for you to be fully at peace with what is. See if you can let go of all that is and rest in this space. Guide your knees back to center, give them one more squeeze, and then place them down hip width apart. Coming into bridge, back of the heels close to the sit bones and just grazing your fingertips. Gently tuck your chin to your chest. Press your palms firmly into the mat and slowly begin to peel your hips up off the ground and up towards the sky. Feel energy radiating downwards to your chest area as you lift and open the chest up. Allow that energy to flow and activate down to your core. You might take a bind here if that's in your practice by tucking the shoulder blades under and interlocking the hands underneath your tailbone. Let's stay here for a few breaths. If you took the bind, unwind and release the grip and slowly lower down one vertebrae at a time until your back is flush with the mat. For those of you who would like to join me, we're going to make our way into wheel pose or backbend. Or else you can practice another bridge or take a rest here. For those of you coming along, this pose will feel different for everybody, so be sure to listen to your body and respect where you are in your practice. With that in mind, place the palms down on either side of the head. Thumbs close to the ears and fingertips are pointing towards the shoulders. Press into the feet and begin to lift the hips. Continue to press firmly and evenly into the palms, arms, and legs as you keep extending the hips up. Thighs rotate inward, back is arched, arms are elongated. Wheel pose. Breathe and stay here for as long as you wish. Or make your way back down by tucking the chin to the chest and slowly bend the elbows and carefully guide your way back down. When you arrive, gently hug your knees to your chest and then make your way to happy baby pose. Bring the arms through the insides of the knees and hold on to the outside edge of each foot. Slightly tuck the chin to the chest and press the heels up and pull back with the arms. Shoulders, neck, and back press down into the mat. You can rock your baby a little side to side here if that feels good. You might extend one leg and then the other. Breathe and enjoy the stretch. Try to soften into the stretch even with the push and the pull. The struggle of hanging on and letting go is so real. Though let's meet in the middle. What can we bring to the in-between? You may think that surrender means giving up, but in this moment, surrender is more like acceptance of what is, like adjusting your sails or finding the calm in the storm. The comfort in the uncomfortable, to allow room for peace and growth. Release the grip and slowly extend your legs down to Savasana. Gently close your eyes. Allow your body to become heavy and soft on the mat. Take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Relax all the muscles in your face and give yourself the gift of presence and peace. See if you can figure out where in your body are you still holding on. Where can you let go? What can you leave on the map today? Two more breaths, in and out. Let's close today's practice with placing your hands in prayer position at the heart center. And quietly whisper, I trust. I trust. Thank you for showing up, for being here today and every day. Namaste.